In this video, we're going to talk about a tool that doesn't get used that often in Bluebeam, and probably not that many people know about it, but if you use it correctly, this can probably save you a lot of time in your workflows. So the tool that we're going to talk about is the dynamic fill tool. Depending on how you have your Bluebeam set up, this might show up in different places. So it might show up right here on the far right toolbar, on the left bar toolbar. In my case, I have it up here on the top toolbar, and it is called dynamic fill or shortcut J. So you can do multiple things. You can do a polygon markup. You can do an area measurement, which is what I'm getting ready to do right now. You can also do a poly length measurement, a perimeter measurement, or you can also do a volume measurement. In this case, we're going to do an area measurement. So the first thing that what you want to do is you want to go to the fill, so the paint bucket right here, and then you want to identify the area that you want to do an area takeoff for. So in this case, I'm going to do an area takeoff for this grading right here. So this kind of gray shaded area. Once I have my paint bucket selected, I'm going to go to the settings here. So this option right here, and then I'm going to make sure my edge sensitivity is set to low. And then also the fill size, probably I'll drop it down a little bit. And then the fill speed, I'm going to drop it down to 10. So this all has to deal with the sensitivity of the boundary, so the edge of the markup, the fill speed, so how fast the paint bucket is painting, and then the boundary size. I'm going to get to that here in a second. I'll show you what that means. And another thing that you want to do is you want to go up top to view, and then you want to say disable line weights. So what this does, it kind of helps with the paint bucket not going over the edge of your markup. So now I'm going to select my paint bucket, and then I'm going to start kind of painting through here. So if it goes over the edge of the markup that you're trying to do, just do Control Z, and then just kind of do it a little bit at a time. And then I'm just kind of making my way through the markup. All right, and then once we get to this kind of area right here, you can see that there is no boundary kind of closing this off. So one thing that you can do is you can go up here and say boundary size, kind of take it all the way down, probably almost to 25. Then I'm going to select this guy, so click out of it. Then I'm going to say add boundary, and then I'm going to click here on this edge, and then hold shift so it'll be straight, and then kind of double click here on this other side. Now I'm going to select my paint bucket again, and then now I'm kind of going through here. It's essentially acting as a boundary so the paint bucket won't go through it. And then after we're done with doing this takeoff, then you can kind of go back and do some adjustments as needed. All right, so now that we have our takeoff kind of done, then we are going to hit apply. Then it's going to ask us to select the scale. The scale for this is 3/16 to a foot. Click apply, and then now the markup is created. Now, as you can see down here, there were some areas that I kind of went outside of the boundary. So what I'm going to do here is if I hold shift and select some of these guys, and then just kind of go back to the edge, hold shift, get rid of these nodes. Essentially, I don't really need them. You can essentially kind of go back and select these nodes and then just adjust your area takeoff as needed. And then right here, this boundary should have been a little bit adjusted before I created it, but we're essentially just deleting those nodes. Then everything here looks good, and then that is your area takeoff. So you can either do it by selecting the area markup and then clicking all around the different corners, or you can select the paint bucket. If you have just a pretty big area that you want to do a quick takeoff for, you can also use dynamic fill. Now, one thing that I would mention is that this only works with native PDFs. That means PDFs that came straight out of Revit, CAD, or any other software that was used to create this PDF. If you're using a photo that was kind of printed to a PDF or a scanned PDF, that is not going to work because that's not a native PDF. So that's kind of like the only thing that I wanted to throw out there. But essentially, this is all I wanted to show you guys for this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.